Good morning. I'm back. If I should I be granted wisdom on the one condition that I lock it away and not divulge it to anyone, I should reject it. For there is no joy in the possession of anything valuable if you have no one to share it with. This is Seneca, Book 6. But this is the reason I'm back, because I've been thinking about a lot of things and well, it's very hard to get people to listen to what I want to say, so at least I have these videos. But I've been thinking about quite a lot of things, and I've been thinking about what is the best philosophy that I have, that I know of, that I've read. Who did the best philosophy? And I'd be tempted to, when I'd be asked this, to say Marcus Aurelius. I'd be tempted to say that Meditations is probably the best philosophy book that was ever written. But then I could say Nietzsche. Nietzsche's philosophy is not bad either. But the best philosophy, I think, was written by Engels and his 3 laws of dialectics, because I think this is the most practical and the most, as Plato said, when you understand dialectics you have nothing more to learn, but there's a lot to understand in dialectics. But Engels' 3 laws of dialectics is a good start. So I want to talk about them this morning, and the practical application of them, and the understanding of them, and the understanding of nature that they give you. So they are, the first one is the transformation of quantity into quality, and vice versa. The vice versa being very important. The second one is the interpenetration of opposites, and the third one is negation of the negation. So now that's the Engels' 3 laws of dialectics. I'd like to show you say an application of them, or an example of them in nature, and then these are recurring patterns, and then you can identify other examples of it yourselves. So for example, the transformation of quantity into quality and vice versa, Germany is a very good example. They did a transformation of quantity into quality, which resulted in German efficiency, German engineering, and Germans basically maintaining their, Schelling and Fichte and them reckon they were a lot more intelligent than their contemporaries, but the truth is that they were. But basically, through the transformation of quantity into quality, they managed to maintain this, as I say. But now that's getting lost with the social regime that they have now, and this is vice versa. We're now going from quality into quantity. So this is a reoccurring cycle: quantity into quality, and quality into quantity. So the German, as I said, German efficiency and German engineering is now getting quite diluted because of the their whole economy is getting saturated with the refugees. But this is, as I say, this is nature, quality into quantity. So this is an example of the transformation of quality into quantity, and vice versa. But as I say, you can see many more, but this is throughout nature: thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. And then I'd like to talk about the interpenetration of opposites, because this is very, very important. And previously I talked about the Christians and their crusade against homosexuality and against masturbation. And not only the Christians, but I talked about homosexual repression in Asia and homosexual repression in general. And I called it the elephant in the room, because nobody wants to talk about this, but everybody, I made a whole video on it. But I always say, as I say, when you understand philosophy, say there's a rational order to the universe. And it's all right to do philosophy and say, oh, there's a rational order to the universe, but you have no understanding of this rational order. You just say, oh, there's a rational order to the universe, as a sort of like a mask, a plaster for everything. But just using this to just rationalize everything with no great understanding of it is, to me, is bullshit. So when I say about the Christians and their crusade against homosexuality and masturbation and homosexual repression in general, you have to say to yourself, well, we don't control our thoughts, we don't control our feelings, so what is the reasoning behind this? Why does the universe do this? Because it's basically everything is controlled by the universe. If you don't control your thoughts, you don't control your feelings. And until such time as we learn to develop our faculty of reason, we cannot have freedom, we can't have true democracy, we can't have self-control, we can't have a republic. So we would have to seek to understand the reasoning behind behind this. So the reasoning behind this would be the interpenetration of opposites, because the repression of homosexuality and masturbation would have resulted in an interpenetration of opposites, because a lot of people engaged in relationships and marriages of necessity, of relationships and marriages of convenience, yes, because you can resulting in an interpenetration of opposites, which would have resulted in, say, men and women of like coming together, but an interpenetration of opposites. You'd have to think about this for yourselves, because I'd like to extrapolate on it, but it'd take me ages. But it's an interpenetration of opposites on several different levels. But basically this offsets natural selection. Now you have the likes of Jordan Peterson going, but natural selection. But this offsets natural selection. It basically makes sure that nobody gets left behind. But it also would have contributed vastly to Nietzsche's Last Man, which, you know, what we currently have now is Nietzsche's Last Man. But this would have been a very big determining factor in Nietzsche's Last Man. And again, if you unravel the ambiguities of it and figure out the interpretation of opposites, you would understand how this has contributed vastly to Nietzsche's Last Man. But it basically, as I say, it offsets natural selection and means that nobody gets left behind. So basically, it's the reason behind it is quite amazing. But as I say, once you have an understanding of this, it allows you to make the unconscious conscious and make more conscious decisions in relation to your life. But this basically is making the unconscious conscious, understanding why things are the way they are. And then, as we say, we have negation of the negation. A negation of the negation would be, for example, if I say about Kant's moral philosophy, Kant says, don't do to others don't do to others as you wouldn't have them do unto you. But for me, this is cowardice. As I said, a man has a right to anything he can take and hold by whatever means necessary, even if he has formal license to do so. And the other side of that then is a man has to control what's given to him to control by whatever means necessary, even if he has a formal license to do so. And this is conducive to the evolutionary process. And what this means basically is I'm not a coward. I'll do whatever I think is right, and how you choose to respond is up to you. So basically I'll control myself, and it's up to you to control yourself, or to control whatever belongs to you, or whatever you, to impose your will basically. But basically I won't try to control you, and you don't try to control me. We take responsibility for controlling ourselves. But basically, if I think it's the right thing to do, to take from you, like, well, as I was going to the Philippines to commandeer mango plantations, because I felt it was unjust, and I felt that, I felt it was unjust. So for me to commandeer these mango plantations would be just, yes, just. So therefore, it's I'll take whatever I like, whatever I fucking like, really, to be honest with you. I'll take whatever I like, and it's up to the owners of those mango plantations to control what there's to control. Well, so the game begins. You know what I mean? But this is conducive to the evolutionary process. But I reckon I'll take them, to be honest with you. But knowledge of this then, when you say that the universe does to us what we do to others, knowledge of this allows you to mitigate this. And this is negation of the negation. So basically, if I take somebody else's shit, I can fully expect that they will take mine, or the universe will try to take mine. But it's up to me to improve my vigilance, to improve my security measures, to control my own shit, basically. To control my own shit. And this is negation of the negation. Having knowledge of how the universe works and negating this, mitigating this, negating this basically, having a knowledge of how it works and making conscious choices in relation to this. But this is to think for yourself as a thing in and of itself. Yeah. That's all quite heavy this morning. But I've decided, like as Schopenhauer said, Schopenhauer said, if you write for fools, you're guaranteed a large audience. But I don't write for fools, so hence I don't have a large audience, but who gives a fuck? And I don't make videos for fools either. So, yeah, but that's probably a heavy enough dose for this morning. I'm still drinking these at $1.19 a pop. We're on a different burn. The last one was with Casco, Now we have Sigurka, this pep but it's nice little beer, 1.19 a pop still. So as long as I keep my end of the deal, I bring back the bottles. I have a new way of recycling the cans. We came to an agreement on that as well. I have a new way of recycling the cans. I crush the cans and I fuck them in the bin. And then when they go out into the dumpster, there's a homeless man does a bit of dumpster driving, and he takes out all the cans and he crushes them. So it doesn't matter if they're crushed for him. But this keeps him gainfully employed and keeps him in food. You know what I mean? So basically, that's a good deal. I crush the cans, throw them in the bin, they go in the dumpster, and the homeless lad takes them out of it. And as I said, this keeps him gainfully employed and keeps him in food. We'll have no demarcation around here. Everybody just do their own role. If everybody just focuses on their own shit and does their own role, we'll be all good. We can reach a synchronization, but this is not a utopia. I'm tempted to explain the synchronization, but I think I've given you enough to think about. Good morning.